congratulations. This is the first game to annoy me this season. I think a lot of people are rightfully annoyed by this game because this is a game the Phillies should have won. This is a game the Phillies should have won this game. There were many opportunities through this game. You scored 5 runs against a 1-9 Atlanta Braves team. You should have won the game. But there are many mistakes throughout this entire thing, and I am going to throw some shade towards Zack Wheeler's side as well. I know a lot of people are going to be heavily focused on Johan Rojas' drop in center field. Well, not even drop. He just let the ball drop in front of him. He didn't even make an attempt to catch it because there was a miscommunication between him and Edmundo Sosa in left field. Also, Edmundo Sosa's first career start in the outfield. Yeah, there definitely was some ugliness. In the first inning, he robs a home run from Marcell Ozuna, so you helped out Zack Wheeler right there. Definitely a huge thing, and the home run ball definitely has been an issue for Zack Wheeler, as it has been for many of the Phillies starters so far to start this season. But that drop by Johan Rojas and Edmundo Sosa, it just cannot happen because, yes, you do screw over your starting pitcher, Zack Wheeler, because it forces him to throw more pitches. It completely just derails the entire inning, and 3 runs went on the board when 3 runs should not have been on the board for the Atlanta Braves. It probably should have been 5-0 Phillies at that point. It was 1-0 Phillies in the bottom of the second inning. The Braves make it 3-1. Thankfully, the Phillies responded to make it 5-3. They make it 4-3. Then Kyle Schwarber's bomb made it 5-3. Then Wheeler proceeds to implode, and then your bullpen can't hold the lead. And your bats go quiet against the Braves bullpen when I thought these bats were bullpen killers. Now that's an overreaction, but your bats got to Chris Sale today, and that is more than anything that you can ask for. You should be winning when you score 5 runs against Chris Sale. Should be the case, right? It just wasn't. It just was not. You don't deserve to win the game when Johan Rojas makes that mistake in center field. You don't deserve to win the game when your ace is completely just struggling on the mound to find any sense of command. Now, Zack Wheeler, he had a very good start against the Colorado Rockies when he didn't have his command. You can get away with not having command against the Rockies because the Colorado Rockies stink. You're not, regardless of how bad the Braves have been to start this season, 1-9, it's as bad as you can get. The Braves aren't that bad. But it's also a series where you can kick a team when they're down. Because you know what they always say, you can't win a division in April, but you can certainly lose a division in April. It's a chance to kick the Braves while they're down, and your ace did not help you today. In my personal opinion, I'm going to be a little bit too harsh to Zack Wheeler here because I have high standards of Zack Wheeler. We all rightfully should have high standards of Zack Wheeler because he is a Cy Young caliber pitcher. That version of Zack Wheeler tonight was not good enough. It was not good enough at all. The amount of times that he struggled against Jared fucking Kelenic out of all guys, my God. My God. But before we get into the rest of the day, everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to TTP Sports. If you are new to the channel, I definitely recommend you leaving a comment in the comment section down below and dropping a like and also hitting that subscribe button. It would do me such a great deal of service. You can also use the code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal, don't pass it up. And also leave a follow on TikTok and Instagram at TTP Sports for real shorts and all that great stuff. So, Phillies dropped the first game of the 3-game set between them and the now 2-8 Atlanta Braves. Yeah, the Braves, as we know, are off to a very bad start. And the Phillies, they get off to a 1-0 lead. They got a couple of base runners on. They knock home a run. So basically, let's just go out through the entirety of this game and just see where everything went down. So top first inning, after Trey Turner and Bryce Harper both strike out against Chris Sale, Alec Bohm singles, Kyle Schwarber singles, and then Nick Castellanos singles. So 3 straight singles to give the Phillies a 1-0 lead, but then JT Realmuto strikes out to end the inning there, furthering any damage. Zack Wheeler, he goes 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first, followed by the Phillies going down 1-2-3 in the top of the second with their bottom of the lineup. And also in the bottom of the first inning, Marcell Ozuna hit a deep fly ball to left field that went near the bullpen, but Edmundo Sosa, even though it was probably a very poorly tracked ball, he still found a way to rob a home run. So he kind of saved Zack Wheeler's ass right there. Top of the second inning, Phillies go down 1-2-3. Bottom of the second inning, this is where things start to unravel for the first time. After getting Matt Olson the ground out, Riley, fly ball in between, not even in between Sosa and Rojas. It would literally landed right in front of Rojas's feet. Rojas needs to call off Edmundo Sosa. Johan Rojas is the center fielder. The center fielder gets priority on the balls. He needs to call him off. You're a professional center fielder. You got to call the guy off. I don't care if it's Edmundo Sosa's first game. I don't care if it was a miscommunication issue. You got to make the play. It literally landed right in front of your feet. You got to make the catch. You got to make the catch. Pay attention in the scenario. Call your guy off and make the catch. And now you force Zack Wheeler to throw more pitches. But he does strike out De La Cruz to get the second out of the inning. But here's where it unravels. An 8-pitch at bat to Jarred Kelenic after going up 1-2 in the count. An 8-pitch at bat which leads to a walk. There was no possible way that you struggle against Jarred Kelenic this much. Because Jarred Kelenic, I believe, was on base every single time today. Yeah, he was 1 for 1 with 3 walks and 2 runs scored. There is no reason in the world that Zack Wheeler's caliber of pitcher should struggle against Jarred Kelenic out of all batters. That dude's a bum. That dude sucks. Top prospect, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Jarred Kelenic's a stiff. And you struggled against him that much, which led to a walk, and then which led to hanging a pitch to Sean Murphy, which sent it into the left field stands. And yes, it's also Sean Murphy's first game of the season since coming back from a broken rib, where he didn't play the entirety of spring training. You can't allow a home run to that guy. That's just making his first start of the season. So now you're in a 3-1 deficit. So there's a lot of blame that goes on Johan Rojas, but Zack Wheeler's also the caliber of pitcher to where he should not let that derail him. He should not let that bother him. But he struggled so much in the Kelenic at bat, he let the inning derail, and you still allowed a 3-run bomb. Now, granted, only 2 runs should have been charged, or actually, only 2 runs should have been charged to Zack Wheeler on that home run because it should have been an error. It should have been an error on Johan Rojas, and that should have been at least 1 unearned run. So, or actually, probably should have been no unearned runs right there because shouldn't have happened. Shouldn't have happened. But also, Zack Wheeler's an ace, and he's a Cy Young caliber pitcher, and yes, sometimes you have bad starts. But you can't let an inning derail like that, especially after him. Sometimes you got to have your guys back. Zack Wheeler didn't there. So now it's 3-1 Braves, but the Phillies do respond in the top of the third very nicely. Trey Turner and Bryce Harper lead off with singles, then they both steal second and third base during the Kyle Schwarber at bat, and then Kyle Schwarber basically one-hands a triple into the gap in right center field, which scores 2 runs and ties the game up, and then Nick Castellanos follows that up with a double of his own to give the Phillies a 4-3 lead. So Kyle Schwarber and Nick Castellanos doing the bulk load of the work today with the run production, and you have a lead again. JT Realmuto grounds out, but then Edmundo Sosa strikes out with another chance to add on to the lead. Zack Wheeler in the bottom of the third after an Albies double. He manages to get out of that situation. Top 4, you go down 1, 2, 3. Bottom 4 after a 2-out walk to Jarred Kelenic again. Jarred Kelenic, for some reason, he's just impossible to get out apparently for Zack Wheeler. He gets out of that situation. Top 5, Kyle Schwarber against Chris Sale, 2-run shot. Gives the Phillies a 5-3 lead, and then Nick Castellanos doubles with 2 outs, which kicks Chris Sale out of the game, and the Braves go to the bullpen. Then JT Realmuto gets a walk. Nothing happens there in the Edmundo Sosa at bat, which ends the inning on a strikeout. Bottom 5, Michael Harris reaches it on an infield single. Ozuna singles with 2 outs, but then Zack Wheeler, some big balls getting Matt Olson the strikeout there, a good pitch, so he got out of that jam. Top 6 for the Phillies. This is when the Phillies bats basically go and die against the Braves bullpen. They go down 1, 2, 3 against Enyel De Los Santos, a former Philly. Go figure. Bottom 6. This is where everything unravels for Zack Wheeler. Gets Riley to strike out, then De La Cruz singles, then Kelenic singles, then Murphy singles, which scores a run, makes it 5-4, and then after being up 1-2 in the count to Orlando Arcia, he walks Arcia, and then Arcia decides to be a fucking prick like he is and bat flip for a walk, which then kicks Zack Wheeler out of the game. Matt Strahm comes in. Only so much that you can do in the at-bat against Michael Harris. He swings first pitch, puts the ball in play, and he drives home a run with a sac fly. And then after that, he strikes out Albies. So in the end of the day, Matt Strahm did do his job. I can't put any blame on Matt Strahm. Yeah, you allowed an inherited run to score, but can't help when a guy swings first pitch and somehow gets the ball into the outfield. You can't do anything about that. Top 7. After a Kyle Schwarber walk with 2 outs, nothing happens there. Bottom 7, Orion Kerkering comes out, and it's the same factor. Orion Kerkering doesn't have his command either. The same thing as Zack Wheeler. Walks Ozuna to start the inning after being up 0-2 in the count. Then a wild pitch happens, which allows Ozuna to go to second. Riley then doubles, which scores Ozuna to make it a 6-5 Braves lead. Kerkering eventually gets out of the inning after allowing a 2-walk walk to Kelenic again, because for some reason, Jarred Kelenic is impossible to get out. You see why I'm frustrated here? Why are we walking Jarred Kelenic so much? Why are we struggling to pitch to this bum? That's what I want to know. Top 8, Phillies don't do anything. Bottom 8, for some reason, Tanner Banks is in the game, basically waving the white flag. Arcia leadoff double. Harris sacrifice bunt to move him over to third. Albies walk. And then a wild pitch allows Arcia to score, becomes 7-5. And then Banks manages to get out of the rest of the inning, with, I guess limiting the damage. But, Tanner Banks basically waving the white flag. Then top 9, after a 2-out walk for Bryce Harper because Raisel Iglesias did not want to pinch to him. Here comes Alec Boehm, missing a pitch right down the middle of the plate with 2 outs and pops up. After Max Kepler came in to pinch it, he lined out after a nice play by Jarred Kelenic because Jarred Kelenic's apparently the fucking star of the game. And then Trey Turner flies out, and yeah, your bats died. Your bats died. But you still scored 5 runs with your ace on the mound. You should win that game. Sorry. You score 5 runs with your ace, you should win the game. And Zack Wheeler was not good enough, regardless of a Johan Rojas botch, embarrassing botch in center field. Zack Wheeler's good enough to not let that derail. Sorry. If we're going to completely bury Aaron Nola for having a quality start against the Los Angeles Dodgers, which, if you asked that during any random point of the season, you would take that any day of the week. And all the Phillies fandom buried him. Like, it was the worst possible start ever because he allowed 2 home runs. Oh, yeah, it was only 3 earned runs allowed. He won 6 innings. It's the definition of a quality start. When Christopher Sanchez, the very next day, allows 2 home runs to Teoscar Hernandez, which is more earned runs than what Aaron Nola allowed, and he went less innings. But somehow, some way, people think that was a better start. What are we doing here? Now, I'm not trying to throw shade at Christopher Sanchez, but the logic here doesn't make sense. Zack Wheeler should be getting ripped for how much he imploded, in my personal opinion. I understand Rojas completely screwed him over, but Zack Wheeler is good enough to not let that derail. You still allowed a 3-run home run. You still walked a guy with 2 outs. You can't let that happen when you're the ace of the staff. And you cannot let the 6th inning derail like you let it did against the bottom of the lineup. You can't let that happen. And you let it happen. When your team went out there, after you allowed a 3-run shot, they came back and scored, made it 5-3, and you let it derail again. Now, yes, blame goes to the offense for completely going quiet against the Braves bullpen, but like I keep saying, 5 runs with your ace on the mound, you should win a ball game. Any other start for Zack Wheeler, if he gets 5 of run support, you win that ball game. Today you didn't. And that's why I'm frustrated with it. That's why I'm more frustrated with Zack Wheeler than I am with the offense. Because the offense scored you 5 runs with your ace. And I feel like more attention's going to go to the Johan Rojas play, which, yes, it should. Because it is embarrassing why that happened. But I think a lot of the blame should also go on Zack Wheeler. Now, this is not me saying I'm concerned about Zack Wheeler. No, I am. I hold him to a very high standard. He did not have his command today. He did not have his best stuff. And like I said earlier in the podcast, that he had a good game against the Colorado Rockies even without his best stuff. You can get away with that against the Colorado Rockies. You're even with the Atlanta Braves being 1-8 on the season, now 2-8. You're not going to get away with that against the Braves lineup because the Braves lineup is significantly better than the Colorado Rockies. But you still can't make as many mistakes as you did. He left way too many pitches in the heart of the plate that should have probably been crushed. You can't allow a 3-run shot to happen. You got to have your players' backs at sometimes. You don't walk Jarred Kelenic with 2 outs, then what leads to the 3-run shot. You struck out De La Cruz, no problem, no harm right there. You should be able to get Jared Kelenic out. And you couldn't, and then you let the 3-run bomb. And then you let the 6th inning derail from you. And you put Matt Strum in an impossible situation. Can't happen. Can't happen. Your offense scored 5 runs for you. You didn't repay them. So, what am I going to say? It's annoying. It really is. Zack Wheeler, 5 in the 3rd innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts on 104 pitches. And Edmundo Sosa saved Zack Wheeler's ass from allowing a 2nd home run to Ozuna. He saved his ass there. So, it would have been 2 home runs allowed by Zack Wheeler if it wasn't for Edmundo Sosa. Would have been 6 earned runs. So, factor that into the play. Would have been a worse start for Zack Wheeler if that happened. Who knows, though? Who knows? I'm just very frustrated with Wheeler's performance. That's where I really put it down at. Matt Strom, like I said, came into an impossible situation. Managed to keep the game tied. Kerkering was terrible. Did not have his command whatsoever. He walked 2 batters, 27 pitches. And then Banks coming into the game is basically just waving the white flag. Looking at the lineup today, Trey Turner, 1 for 5. Bryce Harper, 1 for 4 with a walk. Alec Boehm, 1 for 5. He continues to look terrible at the plate. Kyle Schwarber was a double shy of the cycle. Go figure. That is very hilarious to say. He was 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs, a single, a triple, and a solo shot. So, yeah, Kyle Schwarber has been fantastic. Nick Castellanos has also been fantastic. He went 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. JT Realmuto, 0 for 3 with a walk. Your bottom of the lineup didn't do anything. Edmundo Sosa went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Marsh came in to pinch hit. He struck out. Stott, 0 for 4. He continues to look terrible. Johan Rojas, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Kepler came in to pinch hit. He went 0 for 1. Got robbed by Kepler at right field. Phillies went 3 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They left 7 runners on base. So annoying. So annoying. Just, can't explain it. That is an annoying game. An annoying game. And that also brings up some bullpen concerns because Kerkering, gotta have your command there, man. Gotta have your command. I'm not putting anything on Strom because, like I keep saying, Strom came in an impossible situation. Only allowing 1 run there, I say, is a win, in my personal opinion. Banks, I'm not expecting anything out of Tanner Banks. He probably should have been in the game in that situation, but I guess Rob didn't want to waste Jose Alvarado for possibility of tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, you got Taijuan Walker on the mound. And yeah, Taijuan Walker won his first start of the season. He looked solid against the Colorado Rockies. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I am not guaranteeing anything at all. Taijuan Walker going up against Grant Holmes, who is 0-1 on the season with a 7.2 ERA. Knowing this, and I'm completely not being serious when I say this, knowing how much Zack Wheeler struggled tonight against Atlanta, Taijuan's going to go down there tomorrow and dominate. That's just how this works. It just doesn't make sense. And look, I'm not guaranteeing shit. I am completely not being serious. But I would not be shocked if that was the case because nothing makes sense. Because you got Taijuan Walker tomorrow against Grant Holmes, and then for Thursday's game, it's Jesus Luzardo. So yes, you do, in theory, still have a chance to win this series. But like I said, it's not guaranteed because your best shot to win a game, Zack Wheeler was not good enough. So now you need to rely on Taijuan Walker to get you a win. And that is not guaranteed. That is not guaranteed at all. And then Jesus Luzardo, he's been fantastic. But knowing the way this series possibly can go, this is where the Phillies have their worst series of the season to start. Because you win 3 series to start so far, and then you drop it against one team. So. My God. I'm just very annoyed. And maybe my annoyance to Zack Wheeler could be very irrational. Maybe I was going a little too overboard, but I expect a lot out of a guy that has Cy Young caliber stuff and has finished multiple times in the Cy Young voting the past few seasons. has put up amazing start after amazing start. And granted, yeah, it's only his third start of the year. You're not always going to have your best stuff. But it's also just to the fact that you have a Braves team that is really struggling so far, especially on the offensive side. And of course, this is one of their better offensive games of the season. Go figure. You have a chance to basically make their start of the season worse. Kick a team while they're down. And it goes back to saying you can't win a division in April, but you can definitely lose one. And that's what you can do to the Braves. Make their start even worse. And you lost a shot to do that tonight. Now you got to win 2 in a row in this series, and I don't have the biggest faith in Taijuan Walker. I just don't. I just do not. So, I have faith in Jesus Luzardo. I do not have faith in Taijuan Walker. And honestly, I don't have faith in some of the guys in the bullpen. Just with the way Kerkering comes in, does not have his full command. I'm not saying Kerkering's a stiff whatsoever. He just makes me nervous. Really, the only guys that I trust fully out of that bullpen is Matt Strahm and Jose Alvarado. So, I don't trust Jordan Romano at all. Do I trust Joe Ross? Maybe. I want to see him in higher leverage situations. Do I trust Ruiz in higher leverage situations? Probably not. Probably not. He's more of a mid-leverage guy. He's more of a 7th inning type of guy, 6th inning type of guy. If you need him in a pinch, you could probably use him late, but he's not. That's not his mainstay role. It's where the concerns come in. Yeah, I definitely don't like the offense going quiet against the Braves bullpen. You scored 5 runs for Zack Wheeler. You should win the game. That's where I put it. Kyle Schwarber and Nick Castellanos were fantastic, and they continue to look fantastic in that specific spots that they're in. Now tomorrow with Holmes on the mound, in the next 2 games you're going to have righties, so it's most likely going to be the Kyle Schwarber leadoff lineup. So, and personally, just with the way that Nick Castellanos is swinging the bats, I'd put him in the cleanup spot. Alec Boehm down the lineup. Honest to God, Alec Boehm out of the lineup. Edmundo Sosa, you're playing third base until Boehm fucking figures it out, or until your magic dies. That's what I would do right now, because Boehm is more of a detriment to you in the lineup right now than anybody else. Honestly, you can put that with Boehm, Stott, and Marsh, because those 3 are not doing anything for you. Stott's at bats look ugly, Marsh's at bats look ugly, and Boehm's at bats look ugly. All 3 of them. So, that's what I got. That is what I got. And I'm trying to see if there's anything here on the Twitterverse post-game with Rob Thompson or anything like that. I don't think there is. I don't see anything post-game. No, there's really nothing much there. Not seeing much there. Nope. Seriously, the only thing good that happened tonight, only thing that the good happened tonight was Kyle Schwarber and Nick Castellanos. That was basically it. Nothing else was. So, I apologize if I am going a little bit off the rail there, but that's just how I felt. Oof, someone just posted a Baseball Savant page, and I can 100% know who it is. That is 100% Bryson Stott's Baseball Savant page. Oof. Oof. That is not good. That is not good. That is Bryson Stott without a doubt. Let me go to Baseball Savant. I actually want to confirm this. Baseball Savant. Let me go to Bryson Stott. Aye. Yep, that is Bryson Stott. Ugh. That is ugly. If you guys have a website handy active or anything like that, yeah, go check out Baseball Savant Bryson Stott. It is not good. The only thing that is good on that page is his chase rate, is his chase percentage. It's the only thing that is good about his Baseball Savant. Maybe his walks, but that's not even in the red either. Because with Baseball Savant, if you're in the red, that's good. If you're in the blue, that's bad. And Stott's a lot in the blue. A lot in the blue. So, yeah. Oof. Yikes. 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 Not good. What is he, Brandon Marsh's? See Marsh's. What does Marsh's Savant look like? Significantly better than Stotts. Significantly better. His exit velocity is hard hit. His walks are actually really good. Chase obviously is not going to be the best. His strikeouts obviously not going to be the best. But there's categories that are way better than Bryson Stotts. What about Bohm? Alec Bohm. What is his Savant? Okay, apparently his Savant is on the red. So I have known nothing. All of Bohm's Savants is Bohm's probably going to be more a baseball Savant type of guy. Savant's definitely going to be more supportive of Alec Bohm because he does barrel the ball up. He does square the ball up. He doesn't strike out much. He doesn't whiff, according to this. His chase is there, obviously. He barrels the ball. He slugs he just doesn't walk, really. The only thing that is blue for Alec Bohm is the walk. He doesn't walk. So, I don't know what I don't know what that tells me. Does that mean Alec Bohm is just getting completely unlucky? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just frustrated with tonight. It just frustrates me. Completely does. Well, we do have a voicemail here on the Anytime Hotline. It is from Mist, actually. So Mist's I think Mist called during opening day or something like that. Mist called a few times here to start the season. But yeah, no Sean, no Zack. This is just a Mist post-game call. So let's get the Mist. See what he's got to say.
Amadeo, what's up, brother? It's Mist. Man, I'm frustrated too. I get it. You know, I don't want to give the same rhetoric we always do about April games and whatnot. Doesn't mean that this isn't a frustrating loss for sure. Self-inflicted loss. Also, you kind of, feel like you waste your ace game, and that sucks. Wheeler obviously say a lot of good things, can say some bad things. Unfortunate to get that kind of start out of him though. Just, him being your guy. And you always got to expect that your guy's got to be the guy, even though some days he's not going to be the guy. It is what it is. But obviously the relief pitching outside of Strom followed suit. So, that's not great. Timely hitting also lost in the later parts of the game when you needed it to keep, to maintain, or to take back the win. And yeah, it sucks. Pretty not happy with Bohm. Tired of looking at his at-bats. Starting to think, if nobody wants him for what, he might be worth on paper, maybe ship him out on the cheap side. Get some, low-risk, high-reward type arms. Get Sosa in the everyday lineup. I don't know, man. Might be an overreaction, but it's a route they could go. But we'll see. We got two more. Go Phillies.
I think it might, I do agree in the sense of the Bohm thing. I do, but it's also just Bohm can't be like this forever, right? Because he has proven in the past that he can be a nice 280 type of hitter that drives in 90 plus RBIs, that hits a bunch of doubles. Bohm has proven that in the past. I don't know what the issue is right now, unless he's just putting way too much pressure on himself, which is probably the case because Bohm is just an absolute head case with himself. So I wouldn't be shocked in that in the slightest. And I don't know, because it's weird, because even though I still want to have faith in Bryson Stott as well, I like Bohm's bat more than Stott's. Bryson Stott's at bats look worse than Bohm. And maybe that's just a baseball savant page that's swaying my opinion, but it's just him. It's just Bohm, Stott, and Marsh. It's those three that are really bothering me the most. Yeah, Bryce's at bats. I'm not worried about Bryce because we all know Bryce eventually will get hot. That's just the way Bryce Harper is. He starts off slow, then gets really hot. So we've been used to that with the Bryce Harper experience. Castellanos has been fantastic. Schwarber has been fantastic. Turner will get hot. He's been okay. Turner's been more of the okay side. He has his good games. He has his games. He has his okay games. This is more of an game from Trey Turner. He did have a hit in this one, so it wasn't like it was the worst thing in the world from him. But it's just right now it's Kyle Schwarber and Nick Castellanos really carrying the bulk of the lineup right now. And you need more guys swinging the bat at a good pace. And right now, Bohm's not doing that for you. Stott's not doing anything for you. Marsh isn't doing anything for you. Bryce right now isn't doing much for you power-wise. He's getting singles, but he's not doing much power-wise. And the power will come for Bryce. The same thing with Trey Turner. The power will come. Right now, yeah, it's basically just Nick Castellanos, Edmundo Sosa, and Kyle Schwarber doing the bulk of the offense. So that's why Edmundo Sosa does need to get into the lineup at some point on an everyday basis before, when his magic dies eventually. Someone's just going to have to take it for the team, whether that's Bohm, whether that's Stott, whether that's someone else. And preferably, I would have Sosa in the infield because Edmundo Sosa in the outfield gave me fucking stomach cramps. And granted, it was his first game in the career in the outfield. Start-wise, that is. He did rob the home run, but it just didn't look pretty. It did not look pretty at all. And some of his throws to the infield weren't good, and that's maybe that does get better over time, but it's just like stomach cramps. It didn't look pretty. That's just what I'm trying to point out there. This is a sour taste type of lost. Oh my god, really does. My goodness, I just this lost. I'm gonna be thinking about this loss the entire night. Granted, I'm panicking. I'm not even panicking. I'm just really frustrated in an April game loss. But it's just like it's against your division rival. That's what annoys me the most. My god. So like I said, we got Walker and Holmes tomorrow, and Luzardo and Schwellenbach. And Schwellenbach is the guy that you struggled against last year. So we'll see where that takes you. Holmes, you should be able to get the Holmes. But it's also Taijuan Walker on the mound, so I'm not guaranteeing shit. I am not guaranteeing shit. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Get to some of you guys here in the chat before we end it off. And we'll go on our merry way for tomorrow's game. Yeah, Zack Wheeler 100% did not have it tonight. I was not a fan of the Zack Wheeler experience tonight. How you doing, Steve? Go Braves was a great game. Both pitched. Yeah, Sale did not look good either. Phillies were definitely getting that. Like, this was a game that you were expecting to be a pitcher's duel. Both starters sucked, which is weird. Which is very weird. That Rojas drop change. Yeah, it did. It did change the entire complexion of the game. But then I can also just point to Zack Wheeler. Don't allow the 3-run bomb. Don't walk Jared Kelnick. I'm new to the channel, right as Rob Thompson, a loud guy. Yeah, you're new to the channel, Mist. Yeah, you're definitely new. Hate that guy. It doesn't matter if you're facing Kelnick or Aaron Judge. If your command is not there all night, you're getting rocked no matter who you're facing. Yeah. Taijuan's going to get his ass whooped tomorrow. The only reason why he had a shutout in 6 innings because his debut was against the Rockies. Don't say that right now. Taijuan Walker, 0 ERA on your staff. Like I said, shit doesn't make sense. Taijuan, and with the way the Braves have been struggling, they hit Zack Wheeler. They're going to struggle against Taijuan Walker tomorrow. I don't make the rules. Nothing makes sense. Dylan, how you doing? Wheeler should totally be better than that against these nobodies at the bottom of the lineup. This Braves lineup unacceptable. Yeah, I agree. Even though I wouldn't say Sean Murphy's a nobody, it's more Jared Kelnick that really bothered me than anything. All Phillies have to do is be patient with Holmes. He will give up the goods. Yeah, I'm not worried about going up against Holmes whatsoever. It's more I'm worried about Taijuan Walker. What is he going to give me? What is he going to give me? So, we'll find it out. We'll find it out there, boys. So, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Basically being a gigantic fucking therapy session. You could see Taijuan Walker dominating. Oh god, that is a hot take right there, Steven. That is a fucking hot take. You can see Taijuan Walker dominating. I'm joking in saying that he'll probably go out there and the Braves will struggle against him because they hit Zack Wheeler, they'll struggle against the other guy. I don't believe if Taijuan Walker dominates tomorrow, I'll eat a sack of fucking shit. I think most Phillies fans will eat a fucking sack of shit. Yeah, Schwellenbach we have struggled against, so I'm not. I don't know. Jesus Luzardo. That's my argument. Jesus Luzardo. Good luck against Jesus Luzardo. I got nothing else. I got nothing else. But yeah, that'll do it for tonight, everybody. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that. Don't forget to use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Don't pass it up. And follow on TTP Sports on TikTok and Instagram for reels and shorts. So appreciate you guys for a therapy session.